Beginning tomorrow, the Prime Minister will be hitting the election campaign trail in Telangana. Across 3 days, he will be addressing rallies and conduct roadshows in the state, with the BJP hoping that it will help boost the party's fortunes across Telangana. In fact, he has chosen to launch his campaign from a seat that is seeing the mother of all battles, Kamareddy. Kamareddy is seeing a face-off between Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao and State Congress Chief Revant Reddy. Taking them on from the BJP is first-timer Kathipalli Venkataramana Reddy. The BRS chief chose to contest from this second seat. Kamareddy, in addition to Gajravel, after five-time MLA Gampa Govardhan was dropped. Soon, Revant Reddy also decided to put his hat in the ring and he filed his nomination papers. As a result, former Congress Minister Muhammad Ali Shabbir had to shift instead to Nizamabad Urban. In addition to Kamareddy, the other address, the other public meeting that the Prime Minister will be carrying out is in Maheshwaram. It's from here that Education Minister Sabita Indra Reddy is contesting, where the CM today promised to set up a special IT park for Muslim youth, setting off howls of protest from the BJP, which accused the government of appeasement and lack of any real development.
हमसे पहले 10 साल कांग्रेस का हुकूमत था। उनके 10 साल के दौर में उन्होंने माइनॉरिटी डेवलपमेंट के लिए खर्च किया सिर्फ 2000 करोड़ रुपया। हमारे 10 साल के हुकूमत में हमने माइनॉरिटी डेवलपमेंट के लिए खर्च किया 12,000 करोड़ रुपया। अब फर्क आप समझ सकते हैं, किसको मुसलमानों से प्यार है, कौन पार्टी आपको वोट बैंक बना के आपका वोट लूट लिया। जब तक केसीआर जिंदा रहेगा तब तक तेलंगाना सेक्युलर रियासत ही बने रहेगा।
माइनॉरिटीज के लिए केसीआर जी आईटी पार्क अनाउंस किया और माइनॉरिटीज को ओवैसी जी भी माइनॉरिटीज को मतलब बहुत सारे स्कीम्स माइनॉरिटीज के लिए लेके आ रहे हैं, कांग्रेस भी लेके आ रहे हैं।
देखिए, इन्होंने 4% रिजर्वेशन माइनॉरिटी के लिए किया है। हमने तय किया है कि हम अगर सत्ता में आते हैं तो 4% रिजर्वेशन उनका समाप्त करेंगे और एसटी, एससी, ओबीसी को देंगे।
आईटी पार्क में सब लोग काम करने का है, वो अलग अलग कोई काम करने का नहीं है। इससे नॉलेज हब, तो आप इस्लामिक सेंटर बनाते बोले नहीं बनाए, उर्दू एकेडमी बनाते बोल के नहीं बनाए। उन लोगों को जो हैदराबाद शहर में आप 1 लाख डबल बेडरूम घर बनाया बोल के बोले, उसके उन लोगों को 12% नहीं मिला है। बीजेपी को एक मुद्दा देने के लिए केसीआर कोशिश कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि बीजेपी का स्पेस नहीं है तेलंगाना में अभी।
The Congress and the BJP have a lot in common, especially their target, the BRS. But in addition to accusing the incumbent government of corruption, appeasement and dynasty politics, the BJP has also played its trump card of promising that a BC or a backward caste leader would be made chief minister if the BJP is voted to power. However, at present, most pundits are predicting that the state will see an extremely close fight between the BRS and the Congress for the top. But will the Congress find it an uphill task? Let's find out. Right at the top, let me introduce our guest. Joining us is Tuhin Sinha, spokesperson of the BJP, JBC Sriram, political analyst, Kamruzzaman Chowdhury, political analyst, Mahesh Bigala, leader of the BRS, and Sai Sekhar Angara, who is a senior journalist. But why are we saying that it could well prove to be an uphill task for the Congress? Let's take a look at 13 seats from 2018 elections, an unlucky 13, or rather quite a tough 13 for the Congress. Why are we calling it that? Because these are seats where the Congress or its allies found itself not just losing, but actually ended up at the third position. Which are these critical seats which the Congress, if it really manages to make a way for itself, will have to win? The first seat is Belampalli, which the BRS won, the BSP was at second place, and the CPI, which is a Congress ally, is at the fourth place. Adilabad, the BJP was at second place, the BRS won it, Congress was at third place. Same for Madhole, where the BJP was at second place, Congress was at third. At Balakonda, the BSP was runners-up, Congress again was at number 3 here. Same is the story for Karimnagar, where again the Congress was at third and it was the BJP which was giving a run for its money to the BRS here in Karimnagar. Similarly is Malkajgiri, where the BJP was at second place, TJS, which is a Congress ally, was at third place, Ibrahim Patnam, BSP was second, and the TDP, a Congress ally at that time, was in third place. Amberpet, again the BJP was at second, as was Khairatabad and Karwan, and the final 3 seats, because there were a total of these 13 where the Congress was at third, is Charminar, Chandrayan Gutta and Kalwa Kurti. So these 13 seats we have chosen simply to give you an idea that yes, the Congress has done a seat-by-seat survey. A lot of people are saying that they have got a lot going for them, as is clear from the case of Kamareddy. They are taking the fight into the BRSS camp, challenging the chief minister in the seat or one of the seats that he is fighting. But will this work out for them, or is it still going to be a very, very difficult ask? Let me first put that question to you, JVC Sriram, because you've been traveling across the state. At present, objectively, who do you think has its nose ahead? BRS or the Congress, or some would argue the BJP? Who do you find ahead at this point?
See, at this point in time, I would say that BRS is slightly ahead for a simple reason what you shared. And apart from that, there have been several seats where BRS had won by a margin of more than 50,000 votes, many on 40,000 votes, and many on 30,000 votes. As a result of which, it is a mountain to climb. And more importantly, if I look at the 2 seats where the Chief Minister is contesting, which is Kamareddy and also at Gajwel, in both those constituencies, who is ahead, who is giving a tough fight to BRS is basically BJP. Because at Kamareddy, you have a local guy, because the people in Kamareddy are telling me that KCR is an outsider, Revant Reddy is an outsider, and now we have a son of the soil who had worked with us for 2 years, Venkatramana Reddy, and he is in the forefront. At Gajwel also, Itla Rajender is slightly ahead. And I want to share with you something, Padmaja Joshi, because it's the CM's constituency, and if I can allow to play this video, I would like to play this video from my phone, because this is what I saw at Kamareddy, if I am allowed to do that. Can I?
Sure, go ahead. Okay, so let's actually start by focusing on Kamareddy. The Prime Minister, just to give you context, is going to begin his rally tomorrow from Kamareddy. It's the Chief Minister's seat. He's fighting from Gajwel, this time additionally from Kamareddy. And what kind of a fight is it going to be? Yes, JVC, what are you showing us?
Yeah, these are the 2-bedroom houses. I hope you're able to see those 2-bedroom houses. These 2-bedroom houses are...
Yeah. Okay.
To Kanyakumari highway, this is the state of the double
2-bedroom houses not occupied by anybody. They're all floating in the water. You must have seen Lakeview Residency. This is not Lakeview Residency. These are residences built on the lake. People are saying that snakes are entering inside and pigs are entering inside and nobody is occupying. And this is the state of affairs in Kamareddy, where the Chief Minister KCR himself is contesting. And I hope you're able to see this. And people are extremely angry if this is the state of affairs in a place like where the CM is contesting. Do you think it augurs well for BRS? And Revant Reddy will be pushed to 3rd position here. And this is a big story I'm talking about. And it is right located on the next to the highway.
No, but then what you are saying doesn't make sense. You are saying
400 meters away from highway.
You are saying that in Kamareddy things are so terrible that these 2 BHK houses are empty, they're in the middle of a puddle, etc. And yet you are predicting that the BJP is doing well here. The BRS is doing well here, pardon me.
BRS is not doing well in this place, Kamareddy. Neither it is doing well in Gajwel. But what I'm talking about is overall, because the Congress has a huge mountain to climb, that is the reason why probably we are seeing slightly ahead. Now I would say that the state is heading for an Ang assembly, because Congress, which was probably looking at the forefront, will not be able to mount such a challenge where it will be able to go past BRS. There is visible anger on the streets, as a result of which probably some of the stalwarts may win, but eventually, as you said, these 13 seats, likewise there are another 20 seats. And right now, in the last few days, after this Jamaat Ismailia announcement and also KCR's announcement, I can see a reverse polarization happening in favor of BJP.
Okay,
BJP, which was talked about in single digit, is now inching towards probably within 15 and 20 seats.
Okay, let's bring in Mr. Angara. First impressions, who do you think at this point is ahead? And do you think any radical changes will be brought about when the Prime Minister hits the campaign trail tomorrow?
Is this regarding Kamareddy?
No, overall in Telangana, then we'll come to Kamareddy specifically.
Overall in Telangana, as of now, as I feel, as I understand the political situation in the state, BRS is ahead of both parties, Congress and the BJP. And BJP actually is not in the race in Telangana, even though they are putting up a brave show now. They actually did not sustain the steam they could generate until May 2023, until the Karnataka election results have come out. Once the Karnataka elections have come out, the Congress has got a big boost, and they think that they will be able to turn the tables against the Chief Minister KCR and his party BRS. And BJP, which was seen as the potential threat and the main opposition and challenger by the BRS until then, suddenly they lost steam.
Okay,
And they
the
also
BJP you
changed
say
the
has
party
lost
president.
steam, but the Congress is going all guns blazing. They have done a seat-by-seat analysis, a survey across Telangana. And what do you make of Revant Reddy now going to Kamareddy and challenging the Chief Minister from there?
See, this is a new phenomenon I have been observing. This is my 35th year of journalism. This is a new phenomenon I have observed. Nobody contested, no party has pitted their probable chief ministerial candidate. No party has fielded its probable chief minister candidate against the existing chief minister. See, YSR did not contest against Chandrababu Naidu. Chandrababu Naidu did not contest against YSR in the undivided Andhra Pradesh. So much so in the previous regimes also. But for the first time, Congress and BJP have come out with an interesting decision to field their probable chief ministerial candidate. Saital Rajendra, mind you, is a BC candidate. He was the right-hand man of KCR and a very powerful leader now growing within the BJP. Despite the internal dissensions within the BJP
But doesn't that
unit.
speak of a confidence where you are saying we are not going to choose a safe seat, we will take
This
on
is a new
KCR?
phenomenon. It is not confidence. It is a new phenomenon so that, they will be able to stop KCR in tracks. That is what they are thinking. But as far as Gajwal is concerned, I disagree with the BJP spokesperson that Rajendra is ahead. Rajendra has goodwill, but I have no reservations about it. But Gajwal is a remote, nondescript village, and that has seen even an outer ring road is available for Gajwal. And a lot of development was undertaken by the Chief Minister, who has represented that constituency twice.
Okay.
And Kamareddy, when it comes to Kamareddy, he is right. BJP is the main challenger. And Revant Reddy, I have my own apprehensions that he's already slipped down to the third position in Kamareddy, and this double-bedroom houses being in the puddle may not be a big issue because the BJP candidate, there is a son of the soil, there is no doubt about it. And, he has a penchant for building several temples. Wherever the people want a temple to be built, he builds that. But then Chief Minister has a stature. And Chief Minister is the champion of the Telangana movement.
Okay. Mahesh Bigala, respond to this, that you have got the charge of dynasty, massive anti-incumbency of two successive governments that you've had. And most importantly, Bharat Jodo Yatra has re-energized the Congress. It's going to be at best a hung house or a loss for you.
Padmaja, we can discuss the same on the December 3rd. You will see the clear victory for the BRS party. So I will be joining you on the December 3rd. We will have the clear majority. Whatever is happening with the fake surveys, whatever Congress is trying to plant, all in the minds of the people. See what happened in the past. If you look at the history of the last 5 years in Telangana, BJP was moving around into the second position. And after miserably BJP failed, the Congress took that position. After the Karnataka elections, it's a totally different. People are comparing with the Karnataka to Telangana. But in Karnataka, the people have rejected the BJP. They did not elect the Congress government. But it's not the same situation in Telangana. Telangana people, they believe, they trust KCR that, he's the one who got the Telangana and is that kind of development, what you see the progressive Telangana for the last 9 years.
So you're talking about progressive Telangana. JVC Sriram just showed that video of the 2 BHK that you promised is lying empty in some random area with water around it.
Okay. Can't he
from a seat that the CM has gone to?
No. Can he also show the biggest second 2-bedroom development, which has about 16,000 2-bedrooms have been allotted in Hyderabad in Kollur area? So probably just you can pick what is going bad, going negative, but that's what is the Congress doing. But if you look at 16,000 households have been allotted in the center of Hyderabad. So over 100,000 inhabitants are living in Kollur, in Hyderabad. So you can do 90%, 95%, but again, nobody is 100% can be correct. But people, they do have the trust. And I'm sure 100% in Gajwel, or even if it's a Kamareddy, KCR will prevail with the highest majority.
Okay, JVC, respond to this, that you cannot discount the fact that KCR has done development, says Mr. Bigala. You can pick out the odd aberrations like those houses that you showed, but in terms of farmers, in terms of women, in terms of the poor, you can't fault him.
Unfortunately, this is not true, because even in Gajwel, there are 2-bedroom apartments lying empty. I can show him around. In fact, in Gajwel, right 3 kilometers from the town, there are people who have been left with no houses, snakes. They are living with snakes. Probably I can take him out in Tupran, because Mr. Narendra Modi has chosen to do a rally at Tupran, basically because that is where the anti-incumbency against the government of BRS is at its peak. There are people who have told me in front of the camera that 100 times I visited, and they've been telling us that we will allot houses. They've been telling us that we will be given some land, but nothing has been given. Because even in Dalit Bandhu has been allotted to only a few, and many of them have not been neglected. I can take you around Padmaja, I can take around the spokesperson of BRS here, saying very clearly, yes, the attempt was there to make development, but they have failed. They have failed miserably. And most importantly, yesterday in a TV9 interview, Mr. KTR himself accepted when the youth asked him, you promised to give us 3,016 rupees as unemployment allowance. You have not given us. He said, we don't have funds and we are unable to deliver that promise. And most importantly, let us also understand, Telangana was formed on basis of the promise of employment, jobs, but exams have not happened. Dharani portal is a big disaster. All these are the disasters of the BRS government.
Okay, but if there are all these disasters, Tuhin Sinha, do you think it is the Congress which is managing to capitalize on these disasters rather than the BJP? Their campaign right now is much more shriller than the BJP. May change when the PM comes tomorrow.
Well, good evening, Padmaja. Good evening, Padmaja. Good evening, everybody. The point is, people of Telangana have been increasingly realizing that BRS and Congress are one and the same. Whether it is their obsessive minority appeasement, today BRS brings out an advertisement that they will, or they make the promise that they will be making IT hubs and IT parks for minority. 2 weeks ago, Congress had made a special minority declaration. So one obsessive minority, obsession with minority votes, that is one similarity. The other is financial anarchy in whichever states they get to govern. KCR very clearly says that I don't have the funds to fulfill the promises made in the past. This is exactly what is happening in the Congress-ruled state of Karnataka. So people of Telangana are equally livid at both KCR and Congress party, and this is going to result in an unprecedented spurt in votes for the BJP. So BJP is going to get a record number of votes. The third is obviously the issue of personal self-aggrandizement, which both of these parties, dynastic parties, indulge in. And also look at the nature of the scams which Congress state government.
I just want to take this particular issue across. What you spoke of compulsive appeasement, Mr. Angara, how much does this appeasement issue really matter across Telangana? Obsessive compulsive appeasement, as Tuhin Sinha calls it.
It is wrong to say that it's a compulsive appeasement effort. Minorities have been an ignored community, and I'll tell you, you have asked me the right question. Thank you very much, Padmaja, for this. Telangana government has promised 12% minority reservation, and they have enacted a law in the assembly, and they've sent it for presidential assent. If the president gives the assent, if the BJP can use its good offices for having the bill passed, it would have become an act by now. and it would have been extending the fruits of the benefits of the reservation to the minority community. But Mr. Amit Shah has announced that they are going to scrap the reservation based on the religion.
Because they call it appeasement. They call it anti-constitution. They say that promising an IT park for Muslims.
They want to do a caste basis survey and incorporate them in BCs, and then this will naturally reduce the cake of the BCs, and also minorities would get a smaller cake.
But Mr. Angara, don't you think when you make announcements, when the Chief Minister makes announcements like having an IT park for Muslims alone, it actually plays into the BJP's whole image of KCR only caring for one community?
No. It is not like that, because the high-tech city area which is developed in the last 15-20 years, the old city people feel that they are left out, though there are quite a number of Muslims representing the old city area working in IT companies. This is one. And second thing I would like to tell you, BJP has clearly said they are not going to continue the religion-based reservations. And KCR is clear that Muslims need to be given 12% reservation. Congress is trying to play the tricks here. Congress is not announced its national policy on the Muslim reservation, and Congress has given a minority declaration in that they are not talking about any reservation which they want to give for the Muslim community.
BRS has promised Muslim reservation. BJP is promising to scrap it. However, the Congress has remained completely hazy. They haven't committed, non-committal.
No, it's not a question of committal or non-committal. We are out of power in Telangana for the last 10 years. Now, what is the actual situation of the minority or the Muslim population in Telangana? We do not know. But one of your most recent
But you have been out of power and you have made plenty of promises across the country. In Rajasthan, in Madhya Pradesh, even in Telangana, you've got 7 promises.
Padmaja, you ask a question. Please try to have the courtesy to listen to the answer also. So when Sheila Rashid said 2.5% of the Muslims are not graduates, that means the Sachar committee recommendation that we all know has not been implemented. India can only progress when all the communities, all the societies progress together.
So
you cannot just leave out a community.
My question is about where do you stand on X issue?
Of India.
This is not about a greater lecture on how we should all progress together. It's about the Congress's stand vis-a-vis a specific promise.
No, you want to hear, Padmaja, if you want to hear what is music to your ears, I can't help it.
No, I don't want to hear any music. I just want to hear a more direct answer. Anyhow, Mr. Angara, respond to this. Then I want to bring in some more data. Yes.
I would like to say that, the Muslim minority reservation based on religion was first introduced in undivided Andhra Pradesh by Dr. Y.S. Rajashekar Reddy. And a lot of Muslims were benefited and they got seats in medical colleges, engineering colleges. They have become doctors and technocrats. And Congress is going away from that. Even the 4% reservation is being continued by the BRS government. And over and above that, the population has been assessed by the BRS government. And Hyderabad city has 40% of Muslims. But overall, Telangana, if we take it as a state, as a unit, the total number of Muslims form part of 12% of the population. So, basis the population, the Telangana government has decided to enact the legislation, and they did it. And they sent it for the presidential assent. And Congress is very cleverly, BJP at least I appreciate they have decided not to implement religion-based reservations, and they have tried to, find a workaround. But Congress is very trickily slipping out of this mandate and compulsion. So they are neither pursuing pro-minority stand nor are they pursuing anti-minority stand.
Well, because perhaps
BRS is very clear.
Because perhaps when you're the challenger, you don't want to alienate or anger or put off any one community by taking the side of the other. And it may seem reasonable when you see this second part of the data that we have, which shows just the kind of challenge the Congress has on its hand. Now, we went to look back at the 2018 result to see what were the margins by which the Congress lost and what are those number of seats by which it has lost those margins. There were seats that it lost by a margin of more than 50,000 votes, and there were 8 such seats across Telangana. Then there were seats which had a margin of between 40,000 to 50,000, which is again 7 seats. The seats where the margin was between 30 to 40,000 was 14 seats, and then from 20 to 30,000 was 12 seats. Finally, we looked at seats which had a margin of about 10K to 20K. That margin, that in fact the number of seats was 7. So you have about 55 to 60 seats where the margin of the Congress's loss was 10 to 50,000. But some would argue, JVC Sriram, that if you have any real wave or a leher as you call it in North India, this is a small margin to bridge. 2014 is a classic example. So many seats which the BJP won by 50,000 plus, which it hadn't even won before.
Definitely yes, Padmaja, but the challenge here is that in the northern Telangana, the contest in many seats is between BJP and BRS. In Adilabad districts, out of the 10 seats, 1 BSP has an edge, 3 Congress has an edge, 5 BRS and BJP are contesting, and in that 5, 4 of them, BJP has an edge. So there are places where Congress party is not even in reckoning. That is the reason why that minority organization offered support to Congress only in 69 seats. In 41 seats, they chose BRS. Why did they not choose Congress? That is because Congress is not a player. Congress would have to win 60 out of 69 seats, and the margin is so heavy where they even come second. And that is the reason why I say an 86% strike rate is simply impossible. Congress manufactured a narrative, a fake narrative, a false narrative in social media that they are the real challengers, which they are not. December 3rd, we would exactly know that Congress can never beat BRS because Congress is a B team of BRS. Congress has got many people who are probably former BRS legislators. If they win, they will go and support BRS. So voting for Congress is equal to voting for MIM is equal to voting for BRS. And that is the message, and that is the reason why it is a tall order, a fake narrative which cannot succeed.
All right, interesting. This is perhaps one state where we've even seen more swinging opinions than in any of the other states which have gone to elections. Those, remember, were largely bipolar, as opposed to Telangana, which has an actual three-cornered fight in any state after a very long time. That's why from tomorrow, when the Prime Minister is on the election campaign trail there, we'll be keeping a close watch. For the time being, though, thanks all gentlemen for joining me.